Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. With Season 5, we of course saw several different changes to some of the top meta weapons in the various meta niches that we have between Caldera, Rebirth, and Fortune's Keep. And today, we are focusing specifically on Rebirth Island and the new top 5 best loadouts to be running specifically on this map. Obviously, engagements are a bit different here. With Resurgence active, things play a bit different, so we do have some specific weapons that thrive on the smaller maps. But our first loadout here consists of the UGM-8 and, believe it or not, the Fennec from Modern Warfare, which actually got a slight buff with the Season 5 update. Now, obviously, we know Vanguard subs are crazy good. We got the Marco, we got the Armaguerra, we got the Blixen, the PPSH, the MP40. They're all fantastic. This can compete to a certain extent. It's not going to be as dominant and consistent as those always, but it's certainly really, really good up close for those, inside of the building fights. This thing can fry. Damage per mag's a bit iffy, but all around it's fun and it is certainly competitive. Real quick before we break down the attachments, perks, and equipment, same on every single loadout today. Serpentine Overkill Combat Scout because I'm a rat, Throwing Knife Snapshots because unfortunately this meta consists of using the cheesiest stuff to do well, and if you're not using it, you're at a severe disadvantage because that's just kind of how Warzone is right now. But UGM here, perfect for any medium to long range fight you're going to encounter, and it's just the best gun in the game, hands down. So here we got the MX silencer, we got our 736 fully automatic barrel, makes it feel like it has no recoil, super easy to use. 2.5 times optic. I'm not really a huge fan of 3 to 6 after the nerf, honestly. We got the anchor stock to help out with that control during sustained fire. Same deal with tight grip. They're obviously both sustained fire, so no issues with those stacking. Fully loaded to maximize that ammo. Hatched for that better control. We got the 125 round box, which gives us better control and a better fire rate. You have to reload somewhat frequently, but it's gonna just decimate everyone. The thing just fries. We got lengthened. We also got strife angled under barrel on there as well. Then for the Fennec, this is a fun one because we got the deadfall barrel. This ends up basically being like the monolithic integral suppressor of the MP5. It's a suppressor and it's a barrel combined to one. So we get better control, we get better velocity, we get to stay off the map, and we get some better range. 2 attachments in one basically, which is super convenient because obviously we don't get many attachments on these MW guns. I also use the 5 milliwatt laser here for that better sprintifier just to make it a little bit more aggressive. You could always drop this and throw on the Stippy Grippy though if you wanted to as well for that better sprintifier and a better ADS. Just sort of comes down to preference. I've also got the Merc foregrip on there just to help out with some of that control. The 40 round drums you have to use. Like I said, the damage per mag is not great, and only having 40 rounds here is limiting it to a certain extent, but it's certainly viable, right? And then lastly, I got sleight of hand just because we are reloading so much with that fire rate in the smaller mag. That's gonna come in handy there because you can get that faster reload off and get back into the action. But definitely a very, very fun SMG setup here. As we move on to these future loadouts, just a reminder, if you guys are new to the channel, feel free to hit that sub button, turn on those post notifications. I got you covered every single day with everything going on in COD. News, updates, loadouts, you name it, you're gonna find it right here. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by dropping a like on it. Our next loadout here consists of the MW Car 98K and the AS44. Fantastic medium range weapon, arguably the best medium range weapon in the game when it comes to pure TTK. And the car, fantastic for aggressive sniping if you're within 70 meters, right, where it can still one-shot headshot. And because Rebirth is smaller, you have a lot of opportunities to do that. So car's setup not really changing much from the past. You just got to remember you can't one-shot across the map, unfortunately, but still great for aggressive gameplay. Monolithic suppressor, 27.6 inch barrel, tac laser for that better ADS just to make it a tad bit more aggressive. Sniper scope on here, I'm always running a reticle. I personally enjoy the cross thread. Other players like pinpoint, just comes down to preference there. Then lastly, I like the sport comb stock for that faster ADS, again just bringing out that aggressive gameplay there and making it as fast as possible basically for that. Then the AS44, obviously it's a little bit heavier than a sub, but for close and medium range the thing is going to decimate everyone. This is the best hybrid setup, if you will, that has good control but is still relatively fast. MX silencer, the 615 barrel for that better control, also helps out the range a little bit. 2.5 times optic, gonna be perfect for mid-range, doesn't zoom in too much. If you don't like this, slate reflector would also work, but you get more control aspects out of 2.5. I got the custom stock for the better control during sustained fire. Disable is gonna give you some sort of hidden extra velocity, so that's always nice on there. We got fully loaded. You could also do on hand here though too if you wanted a faster ADS. Hatched for better control, the 50 round mags for the better control, better fire rate, better movement speed, more aggressive all around. Lengthened, and then finally Carver to help out with that recoil as well. Not the easiest gun to use in the world, but also completely controllable after you get used to it. So very, very strong option here. Loadout 3, another sniper one. If you don't like the car, you might enjoy the Swiss. They're basically carbon copies of each other, right? Slightly different in certain properties with their ADS speeds, their reticles, obviously. This one obviously has a much faster reload. And then I'm pairing this with the Nikita. The Nikita, much like the AS44, is fantastic for mid-range. Its initial damage drop-off is one of the best in the game. It has a crazy good first range, so that's super convenient for close and mid-range fights. The Swiss setup here, pretty standard for a Cold War sniper. Grew suppressor and combat recon barrel is going to give you that best velocity possible. We got the 5mm laser sight for that faster ADS, bruiser grip just to help out with that stability, but also the movement speed to make it a little bit more aggressive. Then airborne elastic wrap will help out with that ADS time and the flinch a little bit as well. Then for the Nikita, here we're just trying to sort of mimic what we did on the AS44. Honestly, this one has a little bit more horizontal movement from my experience. So I got MX silencer on there. I like the 613 barrel. It's a little bit slower than the 548 and the 546, but it also has a little bit more control, so it's going to be easier to use, and to me that trade-off is worth it. 2.5 again, I got the MS stock here to help out with some of that horizontal control. Strife angled to do more of the same. The Sakura 60s like that super easy to use magazine, better control, and it's just nice and convenient to have 60 rounds in there because of the damage per mag. Lengthened, hatched, perfectionist for better control, and then on hand you could also do fully loaded here if you wanted to. Just depends on if you want that faster ADS or not. Moving on, we got another pretty fun one here, the Ram, a fantastic medium to long range rifle for a smaller map like Rebirth. This is also viable on Fortune's Keep as well, mixed with my favorite SMG at the moment, the Vanguard PPSH. Very fast TTK loadout. In general, the Ram stats are pretty strong outside of its damage per mag, which is kind of meh. But for pure TTK, it's pretty good, and the PPSH is a great choice here after the buff with Season 5. RAM setup here is going to be monolithic suppressor, the Ranger barrel, which is the largest in this case for the best control and velocity in range. We got Commando on there for better control, the 50-round mags in the VLK 3x optic per usual. And then on the PPSH, we are running the recoil booster. I like the 300mm barrel. Light is also an option, but this is a little bit more consistent in my opinion. I got the ISO 3P Ironside variants. You could also do a slate if you wanted to, or any other optic you might prefer. Remove stock for better mobility. We got tight grip for some better control, quick for better mobility, taped for better mobility and swap speed, subsonic. The Nambu rounds, which are the main change with Season 5, these got buffed for no damage penalty now, so better control and a better fire rate. And then lastly, I got Skeletal on there because it's relatively easy to control, so you can get some better movement out of that as well. Super fun setup. Then lastly, I got the STG and the Type 100, sort of a combination of a very easy to use weapon in the STG and a little bit more difficult to use weapon with the Type 100, but you get a general TTK on this class setup that's very strong. This Type 100 setup is built around strafe speed while having a good TTK, so keep that in mind. That's just what I prefer for this gun, because if you're going for just pure TTK, the recoil sucks and it's really like not usable on console. It's just not that well rounded. STG though, very straightforward, right? So set up here, MX silencer, we got the 760 barrel, 2.5x optic, weighted stock for better control, nerves of steel for better control while you're injured, which is every fight you're in. Fully loaded, we got pine tar or rubber here for the better control in general, for vertical control I should say. 50-round mags, super easy to use. Lengthen for better velo. We also got Carver for better control. And then on the Type 100, as mentioned, we're focused on strafe speed. So recoil booster will help out with that TTK a bit. We got the light barrel. This is for that better ADS and better strafe speed, so nice and fast there. Slate reflector, folding stock, better strafe speed. We've got compact underbarrel, better strafe speed. If you're not a huge fan of the control here, you could always go for steady for that slightly better recoil. But personally, I think it's usable with the strafe setup. We got the 36 Russian short for the best TTK. Some players will prefer the 48 just because it's got better damage per mag and it's a little bit more easy to use. That just sort of comes down to player preference there, so you could go either or. We got lengthened. You could also do frangible or subsonic or hollow point if you wanted to on here. Hatched I do use instead of granular just to have some control aspects on there, but granular is another good choice for strafe. We also have acrobatic and quick on there to round things out. And that being said, those are the top 5 best loadouts to be running for Rebirth right now after the Season 5 update. And that's going to wrap things up for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated. And if you are new to the channel, or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with everything going on in COD. So feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day. And I will catch you guys later. Peace out.